So, good afternoon. My name is Monica Abigail Sanchez Cantera from Robotics Group. And right now I'm going to explain how to do the practice number 15 of the practices, manual of practices for the CNC Mill. This is for the subject of advanced processes of manufacture. In here we have the practice number 15 as said, and this is the figure. It looks very simple, but I actually had to do a 3D model of this piece to get the pieces, the measurements more safely, because if I did it manually, it is a bit more difficult, and we can change some of the measurements if we do it manually. So in here I have the 3D model. I already opened the one that I started off with, but you can see that in here I have more crackers. So for the piece in here, it says that it was 65 with 65. So that's the measurement of the whole square. And I had all the circles that we needed in here. Let's just find the practice again. I had all that was required. I had to do some circles in here and the exterior parts of the piece to get this shape that we see in here and in here. This is right now, this is just like the drawing, but we need to extract them to get the deeds and everything. I'm sorry. And for that, in here we just did one part that was the whole contour of this piece, all the edges, to get the main piece. But that was done with finding out about this ones. Like in here I did a 10 extraction to get this measurement, that is 5 plus 5. That will be like from here to the more external part. And and also taking account this one, the 10th of the base. And that's how I got the piece that we have here. Let me just find a way to, you see in here we have all the measurements. Here it is. And I get I obtained all the depths that we saw with different crackers. It was just the same crackers that I um extract differently. You see in here I have another one that it's the same, but in here I just pick this part, like the other part. And in the last one, that was the one that was like that had a cut inside of it, I just picked these parts because it was the ones that we're going to have the cuts. Also in here, here's the part that has the cuts. I'm sorry, this was 20, this was 10, like the extraction millimeters, then 20, I think this was 15, and this had a depth of 8 for the cut. You can see those measurements in here. Then it was this whole thing. Well, it was 5. Then this whole was 10, and this cut was 8. So now that we have this one, we can start, like we have already a base, so we can start writing the code. I already set the tools that we're going to use, so I'm just going to put them. And I also already set the number of or subprograms. So let's just start. Alt plus 91 is the thing I used to get this little symbols in here. This one. If it's for any help, I'll write the billet, and we're gonna write. I'm just gonna write all the info, and I'll be back. Now I have all the info in here. I said that I already set the tools that I wanted to use. So first one, I wanted to use a tool with a diameter of 30. That was the one. T1, T2, a diameter of 10, T3, diameter of 1, T4, diameter of 4, and the last one, diameter of 12 for T5. I also added a edge move. Edge move is a tool that we are going to use to set that our coordinates, or the measurements start from the bottom, like from a specific point of the square of the piece, the initial piece. And yes, it's to set the measurements to start from there, because we have to set datum in here. I already have it set, but I think it starts here, so we just move it from here, and now our coordinate 0 will be actually the coordinates in x60 and y50, but it will count with edge move. We will count these coordinates as our new 0. Something that I also didn't explain was the tools. As in every tool, we have to name the tool 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in here, we don't have any how do you set tools. So we don't have any tools that already come with the program. So we have to make our own tools. We just have to put the diameter and how deep that tool can go. So, but this one, it doesn't really matter. But in here, the one that matters the most is the diameter. And with that, we are all set. We can start. The first thing we need to write is, remember that we need to do a count of our lines with n and then the number. The important part in here is that the numbers are ascending. Like, it doesn't matter if I right now put in here 10, or in the next line has to be it can be 20, 30, 40. It just have to be ascending. So I put G21, G90, and G95. These tools G codes are the ones. Let's just put it in here so I don't lie to you. CNC instructions, G codes. So you saw that we had G21. It's to get the metric units, because you can still use the millimeters. We can also use the imperial units, but we are right now working in millimeters. Now the G90 is to make the coordinates absolute. That means that the coordinates always start from a point, from the x0, y0. We can also use incremental, but it will be more, well, I feel it will be more, it'll be harder. So I just use G90, and also G95 as in the late, it's the revolution feet, just a parameter that the spindle uses. Now N20 and J28. J28 is to set like the initial point, like the home. G28 says the tool go home. And we set it on U0, W0, that are that are other way to say the coordinates x and y, but for some specific purposes. Now N30, and we can start with M06 to start our spindle. And well, no, it isn't to start the spindle, is to set the tool. This M06 is to automatically change the tool. We are going to automatically set it to T1. I forgot to put the semicolon in here. Just gonna put them T1 and 40. And now our spindle starts to spin with S 120. I mean 1200. Now we're going to start our movements with G00 X. We're going to go to like a 0 point, and C1. C is a value that now we add to our coordinates compared to that one that we were doing late. It is for the dip of the cut. So in here we're not cutting anything yet. So we just start with that one. And N60, we're going with G01. We're just going to like lower a bit or tool. And now, because we're doing a lot of like we're cutting deeper in with every cycle of the program, we cannot do that. We can do that manually, but we have to go millimeter by millimeter. So we'll have to repeat the program over and over. So there's a tool that we can use for that. Well, it's not a default tool. It's like a trick that we do, and it's to do the sub programs. M80, and in here we have to put P. M98 is the tool that we use to set the sub programs. In here I can show you. Also, it was M98, the subprogram call. M98 causes another program to be executed. P value specifies the program number and the number of items to execute it. The rightmost 4 digits are the program number. The digits to the left are the number of repetitions. We also have the P99, that is just to call the original, so the main program. But we'll talk about that later. So it was P, and then the number of repetitions. We need 10 repetitions. For time, I'm going to just put 5. Like I'm gonna lower the repetitions just to make it more faster. And I'm gonna put the number of the subprogram that I will be making, that it's 1501. And with that, we're all done. Now we have to open another program. I have all of the subprograms here. So in this subprogram, we can start doing our piece. A second. Now for the subprogram, we start again with the count of the pieces, and now G91, that was the metric system. In 20, we are going to lower our piece by 1 millimeter in each repetition. So it will go from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and that's where it is going to end. And 30, G90. Now we start with our measurements. We start with G01, and we set I already set these tools, these measurements. I did that with the tool of, it's called equidistar entidades, or offset entities. And it corresponds to this, no, to this part. This is our coordinates that our tool is going to be passing. We can we can see the coordinates by just adding this to get the measurements. As I said, my 9.51, 9.51. And with that, we just start to set the measurements in here. We have 32.50 by 30, and then I get this point, and then I get this point and this point, and we just follow all the points. So we are going to put those coordinates in here. So I'm just gonna write them down quickly. I already have them written. So I'm just gonna write them, and I'll be I'm just gonna write all of them, and I'll be back. So I already have all the coordinates written. In here, you saw that I put the 9.51, 9.51, and we just go in here. I just use circles. That is it's more efficient. I feel that it is more efficient that way, because in here I didn't have to put like move to x, then move to j, then move, I mean, maybe move to x, then move to y, then move to x. So I just put the coordinates and the radio, and it does the circles. In here we can also prove this radio that I didn't prove it earlier, but we just, well, it is already in here, but we just click or circle, and it does the radio starting from this point that it's like the middle point, and we do all the circles. And now do we need to use G02 or G03? Since this movement is like from or this way, we are using G03, right? Yes. And we do the all the movements with here with that, and we end in x0, y0. And an important part, well, let's just get the moments again. We start here, then we go here. Oh no, we start here, and we go from that part. Yes, because I use G03. So we go in anti-clockwise. So we start like from the lower circle, like here. We do this, and we continue that way on. We start here, we go to the first coordinates with the G01, and then we go G03, and again. In here, I put like a movement to the side to make sure that I could like all of the part of the piece. But when in the simulation, you're gonna see that that it was not necessary, so we could just like delete these parts, and it'll be fine. Like we could delete the N60 and 90. Let's just delete it. Well, I'm not gonna delete it in case that something happens, but we're just gonna put a parenthesis to make it a comment. It was just 01. Let's make it a comment of the G01s, and you'll see why I didn't need it. But just in case that we have some things on the 3D view, we can still change it. Now, to finish our program, this part is very important, because if we don't execute this code, this line, the program, like all of the program behind it will not be executed, because the program never left the sub program. It never returned to the main program. So it's M99, that it's to call the main program. Return to the main program that called the current program. Now we are going to save it with F2. And now we can return to our initial, and let's see if it works. We can see the simulations. The important part is to start from the top of the code. Let's see how it works. And here we go to the subprogram. We move and G03, first G03, second G03, third G03, and fourth G03. It will continue. This code will continue until it completes the 5 cycles. So we're just gonna start. We're just gonna stop it, and we're going to continue. See, we are in. Now we are N80, and we are going to like make the tool go up because it was in a certain depth, sorry, and we are going to stop the spindle because we need to change the tool. G28 was go home, return home, W0. Now automated change of tool. M2, M03 S. And now we do, wait a minute. Now we can go to our next tool. That it's 130 minute. And we do G00, X0, Y0, C1, and 140, C0. And now we are going to set another subprogram because we are going to like get closer to the main figure. But this is going to be, as I said in here, with the tool number 2. And we are setting it as M98. B, oh, sorry. B, we said it was going to be 5. And we are calling the program 1502. Now we go to another program of up here, and now we start with our subprogram. Let me set it. So we start with the same codes that we already did. Those codes, it's going to be very repetitive because it's the same basic codes. The only things that changes are the coordinates. So I'm just gonna write them down and I'll be back. We have them set in here. And now we can start with our coordinates that are the ones that we're gonna obtain from the SolidWorks piece. Okay, so our first, let's see where I put it. I think it's this one. Get out of the crocus. And it's this one. Let's click. Oh, it wasn't this one. It was the other one. Oh. in here, the coordinates that are, the lines in here, these lines that are blue, are the ones that I use that I obtain with offset entities. If they look blue because I didn't fix, like make them fixed, but they're correct because the main contour, the main figure is defined. So the first one we said that it was the number 10 tool. So if you can see, it is the off radio 20. And if we click, like, let me see if I can click it. No, I can't. Yes. If we see this distance is of 5 and our tool is 10, so the radio is 5, so that's the size, that's the separation of our from our tool to the main piece, and that's why this is correct. Now we are going to start from here, and I think we're going to start from maybe here, just 20 x 20.5 j 15. Let's put that coordinate in our program. So x 20.5 j 15 and 50, and now we're going to move to and 50. We're going to move just in the x-axis, just to 22.81, yes. I forgot to put in here the G01, so let's just put it G01. And now G0, well, I don't have to put the G01 again because it's already like stated in the last line. So it's just gonna do the same. So we're just gonna put the x coordinate, that it's 22.81. Now where do we need to move next? We're going to move to x 15 j 22.81. As I said, it is since this piece is very symmetric, some of the measurements are going to repeat, but it is really important to be cautious with them, because from in one hand, it is possible that we are like we can prove some of the coordinates are correct because like we're getting the same coordinates again. If I obtain in here another coordinate that it wasn't 28.81, I was going to be a little suspicious because it has to be like the same, some of the same coordinates. But remember that in here our coordinate for x was 22.81 and now it's on y. So it's really important to like make sure if it's x or y. So we're gonna put, well, let me just again put it, 28 and 50, and we're going to see our radio of 20. We go here and 60, G02, because we're going, now we're going clockwise, X15, J22.81, and radio of 20. Now we're going to go to G01, and we're going to like move down. Click on here and click on here, and we're going to stay on the same x-axis, so we don't put that one, but we're going to move on the y-axis. So we move on y, we move to 20.50. On y, we move to y 20.50. Yes. And now we are going to do a G02 just because we are going clockwise. And we're going to move to this point. We're going to move to this point in here, that it's y Oh no, we're going to move to this point, the middle part. And it's x 30, 32, y, it was minus 10. Minus 10 because we are moving like out of the, out of our x. So we are going to put that one, and we are going to find out our radio. That, oh, where's the radio? That it's 13. So we're just going to do that. And we're also going to put the measurements that go this way. And we already know that in here we have our both of our coordinates, and we're gonna add the radio. So I'll do that, and I'll be back in a moment with all of the movements already done. So we already have all of the movements already done. I already named the program that it's 1502, and it is complete. I did it all of the movements to get to the bottom. Like it wasn't that hard because we already have the coordinates. It looks long, but it just movements like it just like it's just repetitions of what we already did. It was repeating all the process that we already did over and over and over again. It has to be repeated 4 times, and we just end with M99. With that, we have our second program. Now we're going to do with well, we're going to return to our main program, and we are going to put the code for our next subprogram, that it's gonna be, in a moment, that is going to be the third. For the third, I think we're going to be doing, let me analyze what we can do now. We're going to use the number 3, the tool number 3, that is the one from 1 millimeter. So we are going to be very close. Actually, the T3 is the one that that's the finishing parts. So we're going to do that, and after that we're going to see how many, like how long do we have to keep doing like cycles to get all of the material out. So we're going to do that. I'm going to repeat all of the writing of this part, and I'll be back. So we already have all this part of the subprogram written. I'm going to show you how to copy and paste, so we don't have to do like all of these pauses. So we start, where do we gonna copy? Like from here to here. So we click on F7, and we select all of the parts we want to copy. We press F80. Now we go to where do we gonna copy, and we are going to click Alt C. Copy mark block, yes. And now we have our or copied program. We just need to change the numbers. I'm just gonna put whatever numbers, like just to be ascending, but it's whatever. We're just gonna put 400 in here. We are not in the line 400, but I messed some of the numbers up, so it's the same. So in here we have our program. This is for the next subprogram. So I'm just gonna add the T4. And in here we have to put also the T4, the 15.4. And we're going to repeat this process 2 times. So I'm gonna do that while off camera, just to not waste more time. So I already write all of the setting of the subprograms. We ended in here. We were finishing up in here. So I'm just gonna change the numbers of the programs to make them because I just copied and copied and copied. So let's change them. Well, not they're fine because they're ascending. Well, in here they're not ascending, so I'm just gonna copy, change them. 380, 390, then 4. I'm just gonna put 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then 5, and 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. This is what happens when you just copy and paste the price to pay. So we have all of them set, and we were just about to do the number, the tool number. We were just about to start the problem number 3. I'm just gonna go a bit faster in this part because I already explained like the basics of it. So let's see what we need for our third piece. So our third one, I said that it was going to be like the one from here. Let's I want to change the view. Let's see if we can change it. Well, doesn't matter. So I have them in here. I have in here. I'm just gonna open this crocus. In here I have set like the how will the tool with the 1 millimeter diameter go through. So in here we see that it is safe. I did this line with offset entities. So it is just I was just making sure that it will not collide. But as you see, even in the turns, it didn't collide, so it was safe. So as always, we're gonna start seeing where do we start our hierarchies. So we're gonna start it, I feel like, from here, and we can see all of its coordinates from here, and then oh no, it's not this one. It's this one tiny in here. In here, let's see if the coordinates matches to what I already had. Mm, It's I feel like I want to start from here. Yes, it is easier if I start from here, just to avoid any collisions that we don't want. So our coordinate in x is 24.01 and 10.50. I'm going to start doing the subprogram right now. So we go from here, and we start with, I'm just gonna write it very quickly. 91 and 30, minus 1, 30, 90, and 40, and 40, and 0, 1, and we have to do a diagonal line that I said that it was 24, x 24, 0.1, 0.01, j it was 10.50. Now our next line, we're going to move upwards to, well, to the right, to 29, then and 60, to j 70.40. 70.40. We can check this coordinates by looking at our model. We start from here. coordinates, how we already saw. We moved to 29, and we move upwards 17. And the important thing, we just continue to do that. And the important parts in here are some of the important parts are the radios. So in here, our radio is from 15.50, and our outer radio is 8.5. So I'm going to do that code, and I'll be back when I have it ready. So I already have it written. In here I already put the number in it, 5003. And as you can see, I used the 50.5 radio, and for the bigger ones, I used the ones that are a little bit closer. I use 8.5. I had to do the circles in 2 movements because sometimes the circles will just not go as planned. They will go for the other side, or they'll go bigger or something like that. So I had to use 2 parts in every circle. Well, most of them. And I already put the M99 to return to the main program. So we now save it. It's already saved. Now remember that we already have all of the program settings set. So the next one is the 4. Now in here, like, we realize that we still have from here to here to be covered. Well, no, from here to here, something like this. We can prove it here because we have the circle. The circle is the one is the 10. So in here, we actually just need to get our tool in these parts, because are the parts that the circles that has the 810 millimeter diameter, are the parts that it doesn't touch. Actually, we don't have to do all of the contour over and over again, but I find it easier because sometimes the image looks a bit weird, because sometimes if you pass the tool very close to the edge and you pass it again, it looks like you cut it, but you actually didn't cut it. So if I didn't do all of these movements, it will maybe it will look like weird. So just to avoid it, I did all of the contour, but we don't need that. But I also did it to avoid any material left behind. So we are just going to do the line that corresponds to this circle. To this line, the circle that is the one of 4, that has a radio of 4. That is the tool number 4. So we have to start a new program. We're going to start it here. And now we can start. We start, as always, with N and 10, G91, and 20, C minus 1. That, remember that it's how deep do we gonna cut in each cycle. And 30, G90, that millimetric and absolute. And we do and 40, and we start. Wait just a moment. So for this program, let's check the coordinates. So we starting here, and we are going to start as like the last one. We're going to start from here. We have x 22.70, y 12, and after that we're going to move to this point that we're just gonna move an x to the to the right to 28.50, and then we're gonna go up to 16.25. We're going to do this semicircle that will be of 60.25 with 27.5. This radio is of 17. So just let's write that down. So it was G01 because we were moving diagonally, 27 by 12, and 50x 27.5 because we're moving to the right. Now we're going up, that it was 16.25, I think. Let's see what's that. Now and 70, and now we are going to use a G02 because we are going clockwise, not anti-clockwise, we're going clockwise. So we do our coordinates that we already obtained, that it was 60.25 in X, and in Y it was 27.5, I think. It's 27.5, and already, remember, already it was from 17. Now we are going to move to and I'm 71, and we're going to do this. We're going to move now to X12, just X12. And after that, we are going to do a movement down to 22.7. And after that, we are doing it on, we're doing that part on here. That is 32.50 and X, and it is no millimeter on, on Y, and there are no millimeters on X. It's just on the edge. So we're gonna do that, and we will continue. Let me write them down. G01, X12. I'm just gonna continue with 80. Remember that we have X0, J32.5, and we didn't obtain a radio. So let's check it out. Our radio is 10 millimeters. Radio of 10. And the other part of the circle is going to be, I already have the measurements here. It's going to be also G, let's put it. G02, X12, Y42.3, and radio of 10. I'm just gonna continue doing all of the parts, all of the next, because right now we're like in here. So I'm just gonna do all of these movements, and I'll be right back. Now we have them all defined in here, all set. This is like almost a copy of the other program. When I originally did it, I did like a copy of the same program, and I just changed all of the coordinates. But it's time if we do it manually, because we're following the same route as you can see in here. This and this one are the same. Like this, the one that was done for the circle of 10, it's not the same as here, because we see that it has some little cuts. That's why we use the G01 in here. But this one and this one are the same. The measurement just changes. And M99. So we save it, and we return to our original main program. And now we are going to do the D5. We are almost done. So we're going to D5. And let's just gonna escape. And now T5, what do we want to do now? So I already did all of the edges. I have the main piece complete. Now remember that we put 5, like that it is going to do cuts with that 5 mm depth. So that depth corresponds to this one, to this part, to the 5 mm that we saw here. Well, it corresponds actually to from here to here. So we need to reduce this. We need to reduce this part so the main figure remains in 5, but the center stays up, stays like in with more height. So for that, we are going to do a circle in here to just like cut this piece, to cut this piece. And also what we need to do now is to do this cut. I think we're going to start with this cut that it has a cut of 8. I'm going to put it as 4 just so it doesn't have the same height as this one, but it's not that it's not that deep, but not too with not too much height. So for that part, we're gonna use a single tool that it will be just of the same um of the same measurements as it says on the plane. So we're just gonna do the same. This part I can do it manually because we only need one movement. Why do we need one movement? Because we even if we are just cutting like one part, we still need to do some cycle because the tool cannot go like all the way down. It has to go like it does 1 mm, then goes back, then does the other millimeter, goes back, and so on and so on. So we're just gonna find out where do we need the circle to be. So I'm just gonna write on here the DM and 50, the NM 99, and in here we're gonna put our coordinates. So let's find out where the circle where this circle needs to be. It is very simple. We don't need to do another crease. Just since I already said this figure is symmetrical, it's 32.5 and 32.5 in both axes. So just and 40 G01 and we put X 32.5 with Y 32.5. We're all done with the part with the subprogram number 6, and we save it. We're going to save it in here. And now we are going to our next subprogram. So what do we need to do? We already did the cut. We just need to reduce this height. How do we do that? As I said, we just need to cut like a circle big enough to do all of this part. So which circle was big enough to cut all of it? We already have a tool. We already have a tool that can do that. That is the number 1 tool. That is actually this crux. Let's just go to that one. That crux is over there. It's this one. So I was trying some circles to see if I could do it. I had some problems with this because I wanted to start from the bottom, but I didn't know that the default way to go it was from the right to the left. Like it doesn't go up. And when I did go up, like when I did two circles, when I did the circle in two parts, it just wasn't working um either. So I figured that if I put it on the left side and just did the circle to the right, it will be okay. And I tried it and it was actually successful. So we're gonna write N10 G91. So that's what we're gonna do. C1 and 30 G90 and 40 G01. Something that I didn't mention that I'm going to mention is that we need to set the exact coordinates that we're going to start on here on our main program, because if we just set it on x0 and y0, it just like goes straight to it, cutting, and we don't want it to cut. We still don't want it to cut. So we just start there, like our tool goes directly to the point and it starts to cut. So it was G01, and as I said, we just need to go to this point. That is this point. That is our X 7.5, Y 32.5, and we have it already. And our circle will start here and will end here to do a full circle. So we're just gonna move to that part that it was 7.5, Y 32.5. Now we're just gonna do 150, and we're going to move to G02 because we are going. It doesn't really matter because, well, it does matter because we are going clockwise. So like that. Maybe if we do the G03, it will go backwards. I'm so sorry. So we're going to do that, and we're going to put the same measurements. And now the radio is very important because I forgot to put like the radio. I just went with with this radio, and I was thinking like, why doesn't it work? Because I wanted to do it, just put 20. I mean just put 10, and it wasn't working, and I put like I was also putting the 15 because our total is 30 and it wasn't working. So I just saw like, so maybe I just had to do the circle, and I started to put just 50 and it wasn't working again. But that's because I was making an error putting the diameter, and it was actually the radio. So in here we have to put 25. So it's 25. 25 and 60 is M99. So with that, we are actually done. And we can go to, save it, and we can go to our main program to see the results. Let's hope that we don't made any mistakes. Actually, I need to put the finishing line in here. Let's see where I left it. The line that makes the program finish is we need to go to, let's just go to C1 to go make the tool go up. 820, 810. We stop the spindle, and 80, 820. And after stopping the spindle, we go home. U0, W0, and 830, 130. And we are going to do the M06. Oh no, I was making an error. Stop the spindle, go home, and we are going to use M and 830. We're going to use M02 to terminate our program. With that, we are ready, and we can start our piece. Just wait a moment. So now we are ready. So we can start the program. We can make it run. And now we just wait to see if our program was correct. Actually, let me speed this part up because it's going to be a bit long. So I changed some of the parameters to make it go faster. And now we have it. Like now we can just watch. It will not be as deep as the reference picture because I changed it to not be that deep so it can go faster. But just so we can keep that in mind. And lastly, the big circle. Now we can see it here, and now we can see the 3D view. Hope it's okay. Oh, I have it section, so let's change it. Mm, remember how this worked. I think it's, oh, here it is. You see, it has different depths, and if we cut it from here, we can see like the depths of the cut. And with that, it'll be all of my work. Thank you very much.